Hey guys, TJ here, and today we're going to be talking about Murder on the Orient Express. This is a more serious version of Clue, but instead of like Colonel Mustard, you got Willem Dafoe. So this film is directed by Kenneth Branagh, and it also stars Kenneth Branagh in the lead detective role. Essentially, the plot is in the title of the film itself. There has been a murder on the train, the Orient Express. Kenneth Branagh has to figure out who on board, of all the people on board, is responsible. I have to be honest, I looked at the Rotten Tomatoes before watching this film, and I can't believe that it's actually considered rotten, but I don't think that this film was rotten. I don't really get the scores sometimes. Then again, you know, Thor is outpacing Blade Runner on the Rotten Tomato meter, so take that for what it's worth. This film has a humongous cast. Kenneth Branagh, obviously, Penélope Cruz, Willem Dafoe, Judi Dench, Daisy Ridley, Leslie Odom Jr., Johnny Depp, Josh Gad, and Michelle Pfeiffer, as well as a bunch of other people that I just really can't quite recall. So it's up to the detective to figure out who on the Orient Express is actually responsible for this grisly murder, and he only has a short while to figure it out. I haven't seen that many whodunits in theaters. Technically, The Hateful Eight was kind of a whodunit, but never like a straightforward murder mystery only kind of thing. I was entertained while watching this film only because, one, I had never actually read the Agatha Christie novel. I've heard of it. Obviously, she's very famous in terms of her murder mystery novels. And also, I hadn't seen the 1974 film. So everything in this film was new to me. All I knew was that there was a bunch of people that were suspects, and this guy has to figure out who from every small detail that he can gather. I thought the performances in this film were pretty well done. With such a large cast, obviously, there aren't going to be that many opportunities for everyone to get a chance to shine. They all have their very singular character types, but they all do a very good job portraying them. It could be a criticism that all the characters are kind of one note, but to a certain degree that's necessary for this kind of a film. In a murder mystery film, you can't just have the audience confusing all the many cast members with each other. So in order to avoid the confusion, they decide just to have, you know, every character have their one singular character trait that they really express more than being multidimensional. But out of this large all-star cast, the person that really steals the show is also the director. Kenneth Branagh did a great job as the detective in this film. Every single time that he's on screen trying to figure out what's going on, you're really engrossed by just his little mannerisms and the ways that he approaches other people in conversations. He's very peculiar and particular about everything that he is involved in, and that plays a very large part in how this film is carried out. There are parallels between how he plays this role and how you might imagine Christoph Waltz will play the same exact role. This film had great camera work. Obviously, when you're working on just a train for the entire film, you really have to be creative in the ways that you actually show what's going on, show the action. And I really liked that this film used a bunch of vertical shots. You kind of just get a top-down view of what's happening in each little car section, and it kind of feels like it's just playing out in front of us. I think where this film succeeds is in the fact that they can balance some elements of comedy while also managing very dramatic and tense scenes amongst the cast. There were moments where in the dialogue I kind of got lost, and some of those details might have been a little bit helpful in me kind of figuring out who the murderer was originally. And if for a second that your attention is gone, you're already going to miss some important detail. So when you're watching it, you might want to really pay attention. It's not a comedy like Clue, which was a more enjoyable film. I am glad that this film provides variety in terms of the viewing experience in theaters nowadays. We kind of get similar movies all the time thrown at us in the cinema, and this is a film that you don't really get to see that often. So if you're a fan of murder mysteries and whodunits, this is definitely a go. Now, if you're not really into the whodunits, or you have seen the 1974 film, or really just enjoy Clue more, this is probably a win. But anyway, that's all I got today, guys. I hope you liked the video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.